Only Americans who's concerned with the Somali business is the ones who have no life.
$5 million within the past
5.9 million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
On the heels of the Somalian fraud disaster, the question arises, where did third world refugees learn to construct this staggering fraud industrial complex?
What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud.
And I said, hey, I'm just wondering, I've got a grandson who's looking for childcare, and I wonder if this might be a good facility. And they had the door open, and I looked, and there were no kids. There was like a couch and a table with a couple chairs. And I said, well, are the kids out back playing, or what kind of place is this? And the guy said, you go, you go. And he almost pushed me out the door, and then he followed me down the street to my car. And that's when I said, wait a minute, there's something going on here. And that's got to be maybe 5 years ago.
Illegal immigrants are given $7,000 per person in the form of Minnesota Care benefits here in Minnesota, paid for by Minnesota taxpayers.
All of a sudden, there was a boom, and people were buying very expensive homes and posting about those homes.
Where was all the money coming from?
Everybody knew, but nobody had the courage to speak about it because they understood the repercussions. So I decided to speak out.
Abdi went on a trip to Africa early this year. When he got there, he says he was attacked and pepper sprayed for information he put online regarding Feeding Our Future.
Turns out that the Quality Learning Center, specifically Quality Learning Center, has received 13 violations and has been investigated multiple times just in the last 4 years by the Department of Human Services in Minnesota. You have people coming from the state 13 different times in the last 4 years, and they didn't notice this. Obviously, this is something that needs to be looked into to see just how much did state and city officials play a role in all of this fraud.
Likely there were many enablers, but per usual, a main road leads to the Obama subversion network.
We got to make sure every kid has a meal. That was Michelle Obama. Ilhan Omar says, oh, we could do that in Minnesota. I'll start a whole new program. So now she's using all of the legalese from Michelle Obama, go to Minnesota, they create this Feeding Our Future, no kid starves. And where did all the money end up? In Kenya, China, Somalia. Who's linked to Kenya? Barack Obama. Who's in China? Tim Walz.
I mean, he basically offered a shrug and a smile. Well, there's $1 billion missing on the table, and someone's going to have to answer for it.
And now that fraud has spread like a cancer across these United States.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Nick Shirley, I hope you see this video. Please come to Columbus, Ohio. The reporting you did in Minnesota was amazing. Thank you for that. And if you come to Columbus, Ohio, you will find the exact same fraud.
Based on what we've all seen in Minnesota, if tens of thousands of Somalis are not deported back to their third world country, and if government officials like Tim Walz and other people in Minnesota are not sent to jail or at least indicted, let me just say this. This administration, the concept of Make America Great Again, and for that matter, the rule of law, are all completely full of shit.
This once relatively healthy country has been sickened from the inside out. We must face this awful truth and eliminate the cause before it is too late.
Allowing this Somali fraud to continue under your watch? Of the people of Minnesota.
John Bound reporting for InfoWars.
I wanted to jump on. It's let's see, what is this? It is January 31st, 2025. It's the last few minutes of 2025, and I wanted to jump on, and I wanted to check in with everybody. I know it's late. It's just before New Year's. I think I got about 6 minutes before New Year's. I'm just going to jump real quick. I'm going to check to make sure that you can hear me because, you know, I have trouble with my sound sometimes. So let me just get that out of the way real quick. Just want to make sure that we're good here. Yeah, I am. That's great. Now, listen, we're doing a lot this year in 2026. And what we're just gonna cover a few things that is top of importance, okay? First of all, um, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that people don't see. And, whether you're so I'm not in a camp. I'm not in like the camp of like I'm not in like the Candace camp or the Mata or the Alex Jones or the Schroyer or the pick a name. I'm in the truth camp. I'm in the America first, America only camp. Um and I'm going to go where the truth takes me regardless of where it's at and what it is, and that's just where I'm coming from, okay? So, just to clear it up right now, when I play clips of Candace, then I play clips of Alex, and I play clips of Ryan Matta, and I play clips of Seraphin or whoever. If the information's verified and it's good, or it goes with the whatever we're talking about, because sometimes we're doing things to make sure that we can get all the information to where it makes sense for people. Because listen, a lot of times this stuff doesn't make sense to people that I talk to on the street. They're like, "Hey, John, I don't understand what the hell you was talking about last night. Can you tell me?" So I've been doing my best to kind of get both sides of the story, different things going on, because there's a civil war going on between MAGA and America First and Trump and his cabinet and the Democrats and just all this stuff. And then you, on top of it, let's throw in Candace Owens and the Charlie Kirk saga, and people taking sides, and people saying that it doesn't, this doesn't matter, that doesn't matter, only this matters. Listen, let's just clear it all up right now. Wherever the truth takes us, that's where we're going to go. Now, if Candace has good information that's verifiable, which we're still waiting to see verifiable information, like that, if we can prove that this dude Snow or whatever can prove the things that he's alleging, great. But yet, to see any of that, I've only seen everything being debunked. So we're just kind of sitting here waiting for, to see where it comes from. And it's Christmas time, it's New Year's, it's this, it's that. And I understand that, some people are not doing their streams right now or whatever. So I'm kind of sitting back and waiting, because all these people, all of them, all these creators or all these podcasters or these whatever we want to call them, these personalities in the conservative slash liberal slash America First slash MAGA area of what we're talking about. I like them all. I think a lot of them have good information. I don't think I don't think anybody should be, I am only going to believe that what this one person says. I don't think that's right for anybody. I think that we need to go where the truth takes us, and the truth is where we need to go. Period. Regardless of who it is, where it's coming from, or whatever. And we shouldn't get caught in the rut of like, I can only believe this because it's from this person. We all make mistakes. Let's be clear. We all make mistakes. We all need to check ourselves. We all need to keep our egos out of this. We're trying our best right now to save America. And that's the truth. And I don't give a shit if it's from Stone or Snow or whatever the fuck his name is, or Bahala, or whoever. All these people we're all just doing our best, and we should not be at each other's throat. We should be working together, collaborating with what works and what doesn't work and what's right and what's not right. And you got this information, I have this information. Let's put our information together and let's come up with let's see if we can get a strategy on how we're going to take back America, because right now we're at the brink of losing America. And when we lose America, that's where our children will end up in this shithole of a country, because we lost America because we're fighting over who did what to who. Okay, so I just want to say that, get that all out of the way. Now, I think it's important that we pay attention to some of the stuff that's going on. We got General Flynn came out today talking about some pretty heavy duty stuff about, he sent a letter to the White House. I'm going to pull that up right now, and this letter, and I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to read it. I'm going to do the best I can to read it. I'm not the fastest reader, but I'm going to do my best. I think it's important. And then I'm going to tell you about what happened after that. And I'm going to play a clip or two that goes with it, so we can all be on the same wavelength. Okay. So I'm going to go over here. It says the Flynn mandate breaking. We the people demand accountability. Dear Mr. POTUS, I know you are listening to We the People. This message is sent on behalf of a very frustrated 79 million Americans who voted for you and millions more who refuse to be ignored. Therefore, we are designating 2026 as the year of accountability. Why now? Because the country is at a breaking point. Our freedoms are being chipped away in plain sight. Our government has grown bloated, arrogant, and unaccountable. Public trust is not merely declined, it has been obliterated. Unelected elite power, obliterated power has been stripped from the citizens and hoarders by bureaucrats, agencies, and unelected elites. Those who call themselves leaders protect each irony. Why can I not see what that says? I can't see. I don't know why I can't see that. See if I can blow this up. No, let's see. Let's see if I can put it together. Yeah. Well, I can't understand any of this right here. I don't know why. It's while American people pay the price. It looks like it got damaged when it got downloaded. Let me see if I can pick out what it's saying here. Enough is enough. It is at its core. This is not partisan. All Americans are demanding accountability. We the people reject the lies, the gaslighting, the censorship, and the deliberate erroneous of our lives. I don't know why I can't see this. It's like it just fades off. Over the past decade, We remember what was done. We know who did it. We're no longer willing to move on without consequences. The message is unmistakable, unstoppable. America's demand accountability. So this is basically accountability letter. Sorry, I chopped that up, but I'll see if I can't pull it from his website later and see if I can't get it back up there, or maybe pull it from somewhere else because it's I don't know what happened. All right, so anyway, he's calling for accountability, and I think it's not a moment too soon. Like we should be calling for accountability a long time ago. Actually, when you think about it, because of what we got going on in our country right now, which is just absolutely horrible, and it's not getting any better. Um, and let's look at what he said should happen in this video. Stand by.
Trump needs to form a task force. And in that task force, and give them a timetable, and I mean a time, like a time crunch to have to operate within, and to take the biggest targets, the biggest actions that have
And by the
occurred.
way, he took your advice that you gave him at Mar-a-Lago in the last 4 years, and right when he was reelected, and he's giving you awards and thank you there. He put in Ed Martin and others, and then Todd Blanche came in and blocked it. So he's already done what you said, but I agree. We have to have not just a task force of the DOJ, we have to have like an hour a day. More important than foreign policy, anything, because if you don't take out the deep state, we're done. It's got to be central, war room, focus, clarity, and that's why they're targeting you for destruction, because they know.
And I think that task force, Alex, should be made up of a bunch of private entrepreneurs who really know what they're talking about and know what they're doing and know how to run, organizations and know how to.
I think Trump should bring Musk in, and he's already partially apologized and brought him back. I mean, I think Musk should be involved in that task force.
Absolutely. Now, whether or not Musk runs it, I don't know, but Trump needs to have a group of private entrepreneurs.
You need to run it.
Who come in and organize. And in the military, we would say we need to task organize for combat because we are in combat. We are in a war. So part of that task force, though, needs to have a DOJ element with prosecutorial powers, right, and authorities, so they can bring indictments. Maybe off of that task force, there is a grand jury that is sequestered. And you don't have to have the task force in Washington, D.C. You can have it in Florida. You can have it wherever the hell you want to have it. But you got to have this, and it's got to be a bunch of smart people that care deeply and have proven deeply about that they care about.
Yeah. So I mean, what he's calling for is for accountability, and he's calling for a task force to come in and clean it up. But this is a problem that we have. And I hate to say this, but Trump is not doing what he said he would do. It's been a year. And he hasn't done what he said he was going to do. Has he fixed some things? Yeah, he was on a pretty good roll in the beginning. But since then, he's been overrun by globalists, deep state. They've just straight up taken over. Susie Wiles has completely taken over the White House, and all her minions are in there, like Todd Blanche, and they are literally running the show. And Trump is like, really, if you think about it, being disrespected by the people that are underneath him. That's the truth. Now, what are we going to do about it? We need to do something about it, right? Do you agree? I think we should all, right now it should be a thing about something that we should all be screaming from the rooftops. And I don't know where we get to Trump. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, and it's troubling because I've always been a supporter of Trump. From I've been a person that has been a very big supporter of Trump. very big supporter of Trump. But I mean, I'm running out of excuses. It's the truth. I mean, Trump needs to be doing more for us right now. Now, I'm gonna find this. I got a couple clips here I'm gonna play. Let's play the one from Roger Stone real quick, and then we'll jump back in here. And then I'll find this other one because I have another one, but I want to start with this clip from Roger Stone. Stand by.
What do we do to win the midterms in closing?
Let's stop fighting with each other and focus on the radical left because they still want to destroy this country. We don't have the luxury of fighting with each other. These people are very determined, and if we should manage to lose the House, which I will not concede, this enormous scandal in Minnesota that is going to spill over to Ohio and virtually every state is exactly the kind of new development that can pop up at any time. So those who want to concede 2026 don't understand politics and don't understand that literally in our politics today, a week is a lifetime. The Democrats will be on the run by Election Day. Also, Trump has laid the fundamentals through his tax cuts, through his regulatory cuts, through his trade policies, the American economy. Once we get the interest rate cut from the politicized Federal Reserve Board, once we have a new chairman and we get a non-political decision based on the rate of inflation and the rate of unemployment, which would merit a much deeper cut in interest rates than they have given us so far, this economy is really going to cook. And that's the best possible backdrop.
And by the way, you're never a hopium guy. You told me 2 months before the 2020 election, Trump's going to win, but not by big enough margin. They're going to steal it. Don't tell anybody. And you're right. You're saying we win 2016 because of the fourth turning if we just stay on course.
Yes, I believe we will win. I believe the economic backdrop for that election is going to be extremely strong. And this new scandal is really going to rock America because it's not just, these child care centers. It's not just transportation. You're going to find billions have been stolen, as Elon Musk told us, warned us from the American
what's
taxpayers.
Beautiful is thousands of reporters everywhere, all over the country. It's incredible.
Yeah, so, I mean, I want to trust that Trump is going to take care of business. But 12 months in, this month, 12 months, in 6 days, or in 20 days, he'd been in here for, 365 days. And it looks like the country's been burnt down from the inside out. Let me show you what I mean. We have the pipe bomb story, and we're going to get into this more later on this week. When we're going to get into a lot of different things that I've been working on this week. I literally was just out with my family and our people. Some of the people that we hang out with. We had a little get together and had some dinner and stuff, and we did the New York ball drop, and then everybody went home so I could get out here, and then I came out here and did pull a couple videos because I wasn't going to do I was going to do a show with some people, but at the last minute we were like, you know what, let's just go ahead and go with the show. Let's just do the show this week. So we're going to do the show Friday, but this was kind of just a spare of the moment. I came out here after I got my wife in bed, my kids, but I hope that something changes because what we see right now, and let me just show you this pipe bomb story, is very clear that they're setting some kid up that's not the pipe bomb person. Anyway, check this out.
So let's talk about Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Candace Owens, Tyler Robinson, and the January 6th pipe bomber, shall we? A massive story is getting ready to break right now. Kyle Seraphin and Steve Baker have been working on this story for a very, very long time. We told you that the FBI was staging and framing an innocent man for what took place on January 6th, specifically planning the pipe bomb. Well, we now have evidence. So the gentleman that was allegedly or sitting in a jail cell rotting for a crime that he didn't commit, that gentleman happened to be on camera. They have his vehicle. They have him driving that vehicle at the exact same time that the FBI claims that he was planting the pipe bomb. And this is a massive, massive story. So Kyle Serafin's getting ready to go on Alex Jones right now. So you're going to hear this story all over the place. Probably going to be on Redacted, InfoWars, going to be on the Kyle Serafin podcast, and countless other podcasts that are going to pick up this story and run with it. It's going to be so big that it technically should end the career of Kash Patel. And I ask you this. I said, let's just play a game and pretend like it was Chris Wray, okay? Let's just put the shoe on the other foot and pretend like this was Chris Wray, and this happened to an innocent man, and Chris Wray was exposed, framing an innocent man so that his number two, so that Dan Bongino could go out on a high note and return back to his political podcasting career with his trophy around his neck that he got the January 6th pipe bomber, when in reality, they framed an innocent man. So when you hear people like myself give Alex Jones a hard time for attacking somebody like Candace Owens because she's asking some questions about Fort Huachuca, she's asking some questions about the military's involvement, she's asking some questions about the FBI cover-up, she's asking some questions about why Turning Point isn't asking the questions that we're all asking, just remember that the FBI has no soul. They have no heart. They have no moral compass. They're willing to plant evidence. They're willing to frame somebody. They're willing to stage false flags. They're willing to go to whatever length is necessary to keep and hold on to that power that they have. They don't serve the people. Why do you think there's this massive multi-billion-dollar fraud carrying out in Minnesota, and then all of a sudden we're seeing the same fraud that's happening in Ohio, it's happening in Washington State, it's happening in Colorado, it's happening in New York, it's happening in California, but our FBI is nowhere to be found. Why is that? Well, maybe if they spent less time trying to frame innocent men so they can get their 2-second talking sound bites on Fox News and actually act like they're doing something, when in reality, nobody's been held accountable. There's no political arrest. That's why. It's the swamp protects the swamp. Kash Patel could have came in and drained the entire swamp. He could have pinned all of this on Joe Biden, could have taken down the DC Capitol Police officer, could have taken down the CIA that was involved in it, the FBI that was involved in it, the DOJ that was involved in it. And instead, Kash Patel covered up these crimes for the Biden administration so that the peasants and the peons and the criminals and the scumbag rat bastards that did this to our country can all escape. So remember, every time you attack Candace Owens, you're protecting people like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. Cheerio. We out. Peace.
Yeah. So, exactly. So, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole thing around like, all the bullshit that's going on. I'm staying out of that right now. I think that the whole thing about who's right and who's wrong, like I said, we need to be working together and not working apart. And this is why. When I bring this clip up right now, you're going to, and this is just we're just doing a little short thing tonight. And I'm going to dig into this. I got a bunch of notes. I'm going to do a bunch of research tomorrow. Because I'm going to have some time to spare to spend on some of these things that I've been researching, and then we're going to do a show. When we do the show on Friday, I'm going to bring you all the receipts for all the things that you're hearing little snippets of this and that and the other thing. We're going to bring that in, but for now, let's play this clip right here. Stand by.
We are being lied to. And not only are we being lied to, we're being exploited at the highest degree. And then on top of it, we're being replaced with the dollars that we work our fucking asses off to produce for our families. They are taking those dollars, they are bringing in people that fucking hate us, and then they are paying them to be here. And if that doesn't piss you the fuck off, dude, I don't know what will. Because I'm going to tell you this, dude, I've worked my fucking ass off for damn near 30 motherfucking years trying to create jobs and careers and build income and wealth and done all this shit. And these motherfuckers are opening up a daycare and getting $10 million fucking dollars. This is fucking insane, dude. And with no kids. If this isn't the breaking point for everybody to stand the fuck up and say enough, then our country is fucking doomed. Period. Okay? Donald Trump needs to feel all the fucking smoke over this. All of it. Okay? He needs to feel all of it over Israel. He needs to understand that he is violating the promises that he has made to the American people. Okay. I've always been a guy that has given that man tons and tons and tons of benefit of the doubt. But at this point in time, that shit is fucking over. And every single motherfucker that ever voted for him or stood with him needs to let him fucking know. He needs to let him hear it. Because, dude, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't do something about this and he doesn't start arresting motherfuckers and he doesn't hold people accountable for the Epstein shit and for this shit and for all the fraud and all the raping that's been going on the American taxpayer for fucking decades, he will go down, and not as the best president, he will go down literally as the man who had the opportunity to save this country and chose not to.
Yeah, that's exactly it in a nutshell. And you know what? It's not just a couple people with that. I mean, that's everywhere. And if you think that this is just smoke, it's not. People are pissed. They're talking about doing a protest at the White House right now. They're talking about not only are they talking about that, they're talking about taking matters into their own hands at some point because this is so far out of this. And this is what causes things like a civil war when you think about it. I think that we all need to be, pounding on the drum right now to get to Trump. And I know that the people like Alex Jones and General Flynn and those kind of the people that have direct access to President Trump is going to deal with that within the next 48 hours, I'm sure. But this is the problem. And the people that are in the White House need to go. Susie Wiles, Pam Bondi, Ratcliffe, they all need to go. They're all fighting against Trump. Everything that Trump said that he was going to do is being blocked by the very people that's making the policies in the White House. Todd Blanche, they all just got to go. Bongino left, and probably because of what they did with the Epstein files. You know what I mean? But writing myself notes on the things that I need to pull up for the stream on Friday. We're going to have a great show for you on Friday. We're going to cover a whole host of things that we've been working on. So I want to say, God bless everybody. Happy New Year. Let's pray that something happens good because listen, we have a very small window right now. There are good things happening, like the indictments for Venezuela that we covered in the last few streams. There are some things that are happening, but at the turn of a key, a little switch, it just goes bad. And it's because the people that's in there, Susie Wiles is not let anybody get close to Trump. So I want you to just take that in for a minute. We're trying to get stuff done to save America. And we have, an Israel shield in there blocking America first. That's the truth. I mean, there's no way around it. That's exactly what it is. So we're going to get into it in a couple days here. We're going to get into it on Friday. God bless you all. Let's pray. Let's really pray, for some justice to happen in the next few days and that we get what we ask for. Because all we want is the truth. That's all we want. We want the truth from the Charlie Kirk stuff. We want the truth from the Epstein files. And we want the corruption gone, the deep state torn apart. Like he promised. He promised that he was going to take out the deep state. So we'll see what he does because he's losing in the polls. I mean, he's down below 30. I know they're like, oh yeah, he's at 36. I think he's 28. That's what I think. So anyway, God bless you all. Have a good night. Please subscribe to the channel, share this information everywhere, and we'll see you on Friday.